for that, we have Jeff Fryzel, a couple of local guys, Eric Graf, who he and his entire family apparently have been busy over the last, I don't know, has it been 10 years that you've been working on this a memorial for the 9/11 first responders and victims, I suppose?
Yeah, it actually has been 10 years. Actually, we started the 9/11 memorial on September 12th, 2001.
Let's see. So that's been up, and I did visit Northwoods. I missed you, unfortunately, Jeff, but I did visit last weekend, and we walked the entire display and signed. You have a little
wall?
Yeah, a little wall that people are writing little memories and tributes, I suppose, on. Has that been continuous? I could just squeeze out a little spot.
Yeah, there's that. The wall is the first time that's part of the display this year. There was always a guest registry book that people could sign and put their comments on, but this is the first time that the wall was added.
I think it's obviously there's been a lot of work and thought put into this. Did you do the construction of the New York skyline and the burnt buildings, the burnt towers, Tower 1 and 2, or South and I don't know what do they refer to, 1 and 2? Is that the official?
Well, I think the North and South Tower is how they're officially referred to. And yes, we actually built those about 4 years ago as part of the memorial display, and it took us a total of 3 years to complete that New York City skyline. It's a pretty much a replica, proportionate in size. The Twin Towers stand about 12 feet tall from ground level, and the surrounding buildings were all built by my family and I. And like I say, the completion of those it was a 3-year project to build and recreate the New York City skyline.
For those who may not be familiar with what we are talking about, why don't you go ahead and describe this display from end to end, if you can, and then we'll get. Don't worry, we'll get to the details, folks, of when this is happening, where, etc. So just bear with us.
Well, starting at what you were talking about, which is what we consider the memorial wall, which is actually an opportunity for people to sign and thank the troops and whatever else they care to write about this great country. Above that memorial wall is a Statue of Liberty. She stands about 20 feet tall from ground level. And as you move your way down, we have a pictorial of the events on the day of 9/11, including a timeline, which goes into what we refer to as the history of war in pictures. We have taken the 6 main wars: the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and then our Afghanistan and Iraq War. And we basically, like I say, have shown what those wars were in pictures. Between those 6 panels of those 6 wars is the New York City skyline. Has a total of 36 buildings, including the outlines. Also has the Brooklyn Bridge. Continuing down the memorial display, we have a tribute to the armed services, which shows you their seals. We've made helicopter replicas and plane replicas, and that eventually leads into what we call the police and fire memorial end, which consists of a waterfall and also some memorabilia and things from New York City, including flags that have been donated to us by the New Jersey Port Authority Police in honor of one of their officers that was killed. And the display itself is surrounded by 2,843 flags. Each one of those flags contains the name of a victim of 9/11.
You know, I don't. Maybe you guys have noticed this as well, but I've noticed some type of higher level military activity around Northwest Indiana. Have you noticed that at all? I saw 2 Black Hawk helicopters or troop transports, the double, whatever they call them.
Propellers?
Yeah, those things. The double ones flying in tandem over my house just a couple of days ago, heading, it looked like to me, towards the Gary Airport.
Well, I do know that the country is on a heightened state of alert at this point due to credible threats, and that's been released through various police agencies. That may be one of the reasons, and one of the reasons is some of these may be participating in some of these various 9/11 memorial events that are going on over the weekend.
A story just broke this morning, in fact, or they I'm not sure, of course, how they don't send me the memos anymore, but they haven't raised the alert level yet. But there is some credible threat out there that hasn't been confirmed, but coming from a credible source. I'm sure you guys have seen that this afternoon, just in time for the 10-year anniversary. And you guys feel any different? Let's face it. September 11th changed the world as we know it. There's been, I don't want to go back into ancient history, but there's been a few things, a few incidents over the last 100 years or so. You could put your finger on it and say, you know, this changed the world, that changed the world. There's a select few things, but 9/11 definitely in our lifetime one of the many things that really have changed the world. Agreed?
Yes, I think that my life changed drastically at that time. I think you just found out that there was something that you couldn't do about it. There was something that it was out there that you couldn't control. You know, I had a 6-year-old daughter at the time, and you know, she's 16 now, but you just looked at it and thought that, what's going on? How do I protect her? I know Eric has told the exact same thing to me over and over again. That's what I think motivated him and his family to do the display. You know, trying to run and get your daughter from school.
How did that all get started? Did Eric come to you and say, hey, you got a little space over here I'd like to start working on if you don't mind?
No, actually, what really happened is that that display, which we initially started to mark the 1-year anniversary, grew to the point where we had done that up to our house for the first 7 years. And the display got so big, and we had people that wanted us to add different things to it. And as we continued to get the display longer and bigger, our house couldn't accommodate it any longer. We brought it over to Illinois for 1 year, and then after that, we actually approached Jeff and had been friends of Jeff, and Jeff agreed to go ahead and allow us to put the display there. And that started last year, and it accommodates many more people than we were able to at our house. I think the last time we did this at our house, we probably had 2,000 people show up. If you've never had 2,000 people show up to your house, you'd understand. So it's much better. There's seating over at Northwoods, and it just gives people a better opportunity to come and visit and see the display.
Yeah, I have had that type of turnout, but my people were carrying torches and chanting. I noticed that too. You've found the missing McDermott Statue of Liberty. I saw that out there.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's not his. That one's bought and paid for by the Graf family.
Is it really? Where'd you get that?
You know, actually, we got it from the same place we bought the eagle from. I'm trying to remember.
Rex, bring my Statue of Liberty in, would you? I want to show it to the guy. Yeah, the gigantic one that I stole from McDermott was going to go to Wolf Lake.
Well, we saw that one, and that's about 1/100th of the size of the one that we're displaying at Northwoods.
Yeah, that's well, yours is not the big gigantic one that would also serve as a birdie rest stop, but it's about 15, 20 foot.
Yeah, with the base.
Like
yeah, with the base we have on it, probably extends.
And you got that from where?
Oh, you know, we got that somewhere in Cedar Lake at a furniture store that's since been out of business.
See, and I say this, and I was quite impressed with the replica that you guys have. It doesn't really matter. This is one case where size really does not matter, because I picked this up for I don't know, $8 over at the Quickie Mart, but it signifies the same thing. Regardless, there's only one Statue of Liberty. But whenever you see the replica, you still get that good feeling. And my thought is that used to be the first thing that legal immigrants saw really when they were coming to America. You know, now it's something different altogether. But the Statue of Liberty used to be something that just awed people, and they knew that they were coming to a new and free opportunity to be free.
Yeah, and for me, the seeing the Statue of Liberty, it still gives me that feeling of awe.
Even this one.
Even that one.
Even this one. If you want to call in, 845-1100 if you have a comment or you need more information on the 9/11 memorial this Sunday. This is an all-day deal, right? Pretty much, or what's the official start time?
Well, we've got a couple events going on the same day. Actually, we're doing a memorial motorcycle run to start with. which the registration begins at 3 o'clock. The fee on that is $15 per person. You get one of the shirts that we're wearing today as part of that. The profits on that go to the Red Knights Motorcycle Group, which is a group of firefighters. The run will proceed for about 70 miles, be fully escorted by Lake County PD through a 70-mile course, passing by a couple memorials, and then ending back up at Northwoods for our memorial service, which starts at 7:15.
What's the route?
The route goes through Dyer, north on 41 to 77th, north on Sheffield past the memorial there in Munster, then down Ridge Road east to Taft, Taft south to 93rd, 93rd east to County Line south to 231, then past the memorial on 231.
Wow.
And then down 9 Mile to Route 2 and over to 41 and up north back to Northwoods.
Now, I saw on Jeff on your Facebook page. I hope I am remembering correctly. You already have a couple of thousand commitments for people to show up. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're looking
a
at
couple
least
of thousand people over there on Sunday.
That's what we're expecting. You know, if the weather cooperates with us so far, we're looking for a little chance of rain that'll damper the amount of people, I think, especially for a bike run. But yeah, we're expecting at least 2,000 people. We had about 1,200 last year.
Let's give them a fair shake. If I know you have a pretty large facility over there at Northwoods Restaurant and Club. Great entertainment, by the way.
Thank you.
But I'm pretty sure you can't handle 1,000 cars over there. What's the arrangements? What should people be looking to do on Sunday?
Well, we've got some parking there. We've got an arrangement with a neighbor. He's got about 5 acres of property that we can park on that. If it rains, that's going to be scratched, though. But we've made arrangements with Lake Central High School, and we've got shuttle buses running from Lake Central. It's only a block away or so, but trying to cross 41 might be a little bit of a trick. So we've got shuttle buses running from Lake Central parking lot from about 5:15 through the event, and then returning the people to Lake Central after the event.
Getting full cooperation from St. John?
Oh, St. John, Cherville, Dyer, Lake County, all the police units, fire units are all cooperating. It's going to be an amazing event. Everybody is on board with it. We've had no problems and nothing but cooperation from everybody.
As far as, and we'll get to Joe in just a second. Again, give us a call if you want to talk to Jeff or Eric about the 911 event. There's going to be some equipment, fire trucks and whatnot.
We've got the towers from Cherville and St. John that'll be side by side, and they'll be having the large American flag like you see on our Facebook page.
Color guard?
Yes, color guard, Eric.
Yeah, Lake County Sheriff's Police Color Guard will be there. The Lake County Sheriff's Pipes and Drums will be participating in what we call the flag presentation ceremony for the fallen firefighters and police officers. And Lake County is also going to be doing a honorary flyover by their aviation helicopter unit at the beginning of the ceremony.
What time is the color guard? What time is that going to?
Well,
does that kick it off? Or?
No, actually the ceremony will start at exactly 7:15, and actually what will kick it off will be the flyover by the Lake County Sheriff's Aviation Unit, which will then go into the ceremony itself. And the ceremony basically starts with the what we call the flag presentation ceremony, which will include the color guard, the bagpipes, and also about 100 police officers and firefighters from various agencies around Northwest Indiana and Illinois.
I don't want to put anybody in the hot seat, but have you talked to John Bunsich? Is he likely to be there this weekend?
You know, he has been at those in the past. We don't know if he's going to be there, but
he's a good old boy. I'm sure
certainly is.
If he can squeeze it in, I'm sure that he'll get there. Let's go to Highland and talk to Joe. Joe, say hello to Eric and Jeff.
Good morning, Eric.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Listen, I just turned on the radio, and I happened to catch you just speaking about the Statue of Liberty. I still get a lump in my throat every time I see the Statue of Liberty. It really means something, and it stands for what America is all about. And especially when you see cases where legal immigrants become citizens, and like this last, 4th of July, where a bunch of them became legal citizens, what a meaning it must have meant to them. And then when you see people sneaking across the border, they take everything that particular liberty stands for there, and it's a shame. They try to demean or belittle what the Statue of Liberty means. Isn't that true? To some extent?
Gentlemen?
Well, I don't know. I'm all for legal immigration, I guess, but
Yes.
I think they're still trying to get the same freedoms that are allowed to everybody else.
I'm sorry, I was doing something else. How did we get to immigration from the 9/11, Joe?
Huh?
How did we get from 9/11 to immigration?
Well, how it got there is because you mentioned the Statue of Liberty,
Right?
And what it means to legal immigrants coming across. But you mentioned 9/11. You probably heard about the terror attacks that may happen, or and almost possibly can happen. And you know, there's a lot of people in this country don't know that there are terrorists out there that are willing to destroy us, and we got to be forever vigilant.
I would concur with that, and thanks so much for the phone call. 9/11 changed the world forever. Period. That's what it is. We're spending a great deal of time, money, effort, and lives, and not to mention them last purposely, but we've lost a lot of lives chasing down terrorists who. This is a unique war to fight, where you don't really have a specific target. It's moving constantly, and fact is, it's moving in our country.